Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today I have a big one for you. Today we're going to unbox this. So that's my new electric grinder from MHW-3BOMBER F74 Navigator. Very exciting video. First of all, big thank you to MHW-3BOMBER for sending us this grinder. I will put the links in the description. You will find my special discount code there. If you use it, you may get this grinder and the other products a bit cheaper, and I may earn some small commission. So it's a great way to support the channel. What I'm planning to do today, I want you to enjoy that unboxing with me first. Then I will play with this grinder for a bit. By the end, with all the information from this video, it should be a bit clearer for you. Is this a grinder right for you? All you need to do is just click like, sit tight and enjoy. I think that's the best angle I can get here, so let's open it. This is the biggest grinder from this company. And what they say on their website, this grinder can be used at home. It can also be used at the coffee shop, so it's supposed to be very, very professional. I still don't know the color of the grinder. I think it will be black, but here we've got the manual, everything you need to know and everything that I want to read. Ready? It is black. The grinder weighs 7.5 kg. I thought it will be bigger judging by the box, but it looks very compact here. Here we get the brush. It feels of the good quality, not some cheap plastic. It feels like a wood, this possibly leather. Yeah, I like thick brushes and I cannot lie. Here we have, this is a cap for something. There's a rubber ring around here. And that's the UK electric cable. By the way, at the time of recording, they ran out of UK version of this grinder. Here, I guess that will be a catching cap. Rubber silicone bit here. Relatively light, relatively thin. Unless I missed something, I think there's a time for grinder itself. Nicely packed. That's the flagship. That's the most expensive equipment on the website. $699 at the time of recording. You attach the electric wire here. That's where the vent is and the engine. At the bottom, 4 rubber legs. That's the chute, and it looks short, but if you take the catching cap, which attaches magnetically here, the space is perfect. It operates between 800 and 1600 RPMs. And they say on the website that high RPM mode enhances flavor complexity and intensity. I guess that means body. And on the lower RPM improves clarity and clean finish. Is this plastic? It feels almost like a glass. So hopefully the beans won't be sticking here. And yes, this works perfectly on top here. So no blower, no blower. We will see how retention on this grinder looks like. Now, to change the settings, you will be using this dial at the front. One complaint, that red bit here, it could be more visible. On the website they say you get, I'm quoting, 90 stepless adjustment. It feels like there is like a granularity when I move the dial around. Between each step, click, whatever you call it, it changes the grind settings by 10 microns. I would like to get access to the burrs. And as I see here, there will be 4 screws to remove. I have a whole collection of Allen keys, but obviously I lost the one that I really need right now. You can see a coffee dust. I haven't used this grinder yet, but they have tested it. If you listen carefully, you may hear those stepless steps here. And when you take the cover, it looks like, almost looks like if they didn't want you to get access to those burrs. Here, by the way, we can see, I thought maybe we will see the burrs here. It looks like there is an auger Here, have a look. Sometimes it works like a pre-breaker, sometimes it just moves the beans into the grinding chamber. At the moment, I don't know how to get access to the burrs. So those burrs are made, I think they are made by MHW-3BOMBER. They are obviously 74mm burrs. They are coated with titanium that should prolong the longevity of those burrs. So hopefully you don't need to get access to them that often. The interesting thing here is that what they say on the website, even though those burrs are 74mm, the cutting surface is actually 12.5% bigger than 83mm burrs and 90.5% bigger than 64mm burrs. Anyway, have a look at the grinder in the full glory. I think it looks good. Not too big, not too small. Let me know what you think about this design. Kind of minimalistic, but at the same time it should work with most of the coffee setups. The footprint, it's narrow, I like it. It will fit perfectly somewhere in my small kitchen. The grinder looks professional. But how does it behave? How does it grind and how the coffee tastes? Well, it would not be fair if I judge this grinder just by a shot or two. So let me play with it for a few more days. And then I will share with you my findings. Okay guys, I've been playing with this grinder for the last 4 days and I have to say I had lots of fun. Let me show you the workflow of this grinder. It looks really nice next to my decent, the squarish shape of the machine and the squarish shape of the grinder. For the purpose of this video I had to put it on the angle like so. I had no problems dialing in the coffee for espresso. Here I'm around number 2 right now. You use that knob to operate the entire grinder. Not sure what I think about it. Depending where you put the grinder, you may struggle to find that spot there. You use that knob to turn the grinder on and off just by pressing it. Listen, by the way, how quiet it is. All the way till 1600. For today's video I will be using it at the highest RPM. You can manually turn it off just by pressing again, or you can choose one of the 3 in the quotes smart modes. To get access to the smart modes, you press and hold the button for 2 seconds and then you just rotate to change. So you have manual, A2 and A1. On the A1, as with all of those modes, you start the grinder just by pressing. Then you drop the coffee in. They recommend hot start and that's something that I recommend as well. Once the grinding is over, the grinder detects there is no coffee in, and then you can hear it reverse the engine. Then you get that beep, 3 beeps, and the grinding is done. So that reversing of the engine helps to clear the grinder, helps to bring the retention down. On the A2 mode, there is no reverse at the end, but the grinder, once it detects there are no beans left, it will stop grinding by itself. In the manual mode, you turn the grinder on manually, you have to turn it off manually as well. In each of those modes, it would turn off itself after 1 minute anyway. I have 20 grams of coffee in, so let's see how quickly it grinds. The grinds, as you can see, nice and fluffy. There is a plasma generator somewhere around here. Often I get 0.2 retention. It took around 7 seconds to grind on that highest RPM. That's fast, that's very fast. Only one grinder that I have right now can grind faster, and that's my F74V, which can grind in about 4 seconds. But 7 seconds, very fast. Powerful engine, 400 watts of power, brushless DC motor. Although they do not recommend, if you use dense light roast coffee, they do not recommend to go below 1000 RPMs. Obviously we all care just about espresso, but you can use it to grind for other brew methods. You probably would lower those RPMs if you want to do a pour over. Now I think it's time to actually pull a shot. For most of my tests I was using coffee that I know well, but today with you I want to try this coffee, something that I haven't tried before. I thought, well, a grinder from China, let's use coffee from China. No idea what it is. Cheers. Definitely a light roast coffee with a higher level of acidity. Now, the flavor notes you can expect, not just from this coffee, but from the coffees that I had before. You get a nice spectrum of flavors, but it always ends with chocolate. At the end, you get chocolatey notes. And we're talking here about sweet chocolatey notes. Even with this coffee, where most of the notes are strongly acidic, you still get that chocolatey aftertaste. Few things to mention. First of all, those burrs, not sure what they say about seasoning, but they are unseasoned. Usually it takes about 5 kg of coffee before the grinder reaches its full potential. Another thing you can use to mitigate that chocolatiness in the flavor notes, lower RPM. Another thing that I did to mitigate for that is I put that juice bin filter basket from MHW-3BOMBER, and this one maybe not enhances but makes those acidic notes a bit more visible. So guys, if you are still here, definitely click like, consider subscribing to the channel. Plenty more things coming. At some point I will compare this grinder with either the F74V, maybe with Tymo 078S. I'm going to review that filter basket very soon as well, and there are a few other things coming. It's not just about MHW-3BOMBER. Now, talking about this grinder, I will talk directly to MHW-3BOMBER. Guys, whoever invented that grinder, it deserves a pay rise. This is one of the best affordable grinders that I've ever tested. It works perfectly from the beginning, from the very first shot. Everything is easy, everything is smooth, everything works nicely together. It feels like it is a next generation of grinders. You may or may not like certain things, but overall, if you are looking for an affordable grinder, this is something to consider. My only two complaints here is I don't know how to get access to the burrs. I'm sure there is a way of doing it, but I don't want to damage the grinder before I do the review. Now, I'm not complaining about those 74mm burrs. In fact, possibly the best standard burrs I've got on the grinder so far, apart from those very expensive grinders. I've seen some SSP 74mm burrs. I will put the picture on the screen. Not saying they would work on this grinder, not saying I'm recommending you to upgrade to those burrs, it's just that's something that I found just doing a quick research. And my second complaint is that knob, the position of that knob. And this is also on and off switch, so you press it all the time. My idea here would be, okay, let's keep that knob on the side, but maybe another on-off switch at the front, so it will be much easier to just, once you set up your RPMs, once you set up your smart mode, then you would just operate the grinder using the switch at the front. Otherwise, everything so far works perfectly for me. One thing that I don't know right now is the longevity of this grinder. Obviously, time will tell. In the comments, guys, maybe some of you already tried this one. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about the shape, about the workflow of this grinder, about those smart modes. Well, anything you want to share. It helps with visibility of my videos. But for today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack. This is My Coffee Show, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.